Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing some back to school prep, homeschool version. There's going to be some cleaning, some cooking. As I am starting out with now, it was evening time when I started filming this video. There's going to be some restocking and organizing in our homeschool room and just getting ready for a fresh new school year. We also had some new curriculum coming in, so I was really excited about that. If this is your first time to my channel, I am a homeschool mom of 3. I've been homeschooling now for the past 4 years, which I can't believe even saying that out loud. It doesn't seem like it's already been 4 years, but I have absolutely loved every second of homeschooling my kids. I wake up every day feeling so grateful that I even get to do that. I'm also gonna be making some changes this year, just adding some things into our morning routine. So I'll be sharing that in today's video. We're gonna also be putting together some chore charts. Having all of my kids home with me all day, every day, it can be very challenging to keep the house maintained. Therefore, it's really important that we all pitch in. So to keep us all on track, I decided to hang some charts. I actually started filming this video on a Monday night, which is why I'm starting out with some cooking, because I was making dinner. I had planned to get up that morning and get started, but we just had so many things going on that day. It felt like we had some water issues first thing, and we were without water for like the first half of the day. I also had to take Palm to the vet for a checkup, and that ended up taking a while, and so my day just had not gone as planned. So I just decided once everything had calmed down for the day to go ahead and get started. So I was making some dinner, and then I had planned to get in the classroom. I was able to get some done, but little did I know the chaos wasn't over. I was going to be making an emergency vet trip with Charlie. So I'll explain more on that in a bit, but Charlie's okay. We just had a little bit of a scare. So I had a grocery pickup earlier that day. I was just getting things put away. I also finally got a wall mount for my broom closet. I was on the hunt for one of those so I could get all of my mops and brooms and stuff up off the floor, and I actually couldn't wait to get it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that while I wait on dinner. By the way, I am gonna call an electrician to come put me an outlet in here, and that way I'll be able to charge my vacuums in here as well. Kind of random, but I had started keeping my dishcloths in a bin under my sink. I had them in the drawer, but it was just way overcrowded, and so I pulled all of my dishcloths out and stuck them in a container with a lid. The only problem is because it has a lid, I can't really put anything on top of it. Otherwise, I can't really get to my cloths. So I was in Walmart the other day and I came across a drawer organizer. So I'm just going to switch that out, and that way I can put stuff on top of the organizer as well and still be able to get to my cloths. I can just pull the drawer out. I'm also going to be taking my Walmart bags and keeping those in an empty wipe container. I'll keep those here under my sink as well. I like to use Walmart bags for my little trash cans in the bathrooms, but I think I'm going to take the label off of this wipe container just so we know the difference in the trash bags and the actual wipes. Had requested chicken and dumplings for dinner tonight. I will put my chicken and dumpling recipe down below in the description box if you guys want to make it. It's really easy, and it was also raining outside this evening, so it was like the perfect little cozy dinner. So I had not yet made my bed for the day, so I'm going to take a second to do that. I'm one of those people, I don't care how late it gets in the day. I want my bed to be made up before I get into it. It's just one of those things. I like for my sheets and everything to be straight. So I'm going to take a second to go ahead and make my bed. And then after I finish up in here, we're going to head into the classroom and get started in there. This is our homeschool space. It's actually an old dining room. The way this house is laid out, there's actually 2 living rooms, and then this was the dining room previously. But I decided to make one of those living rooms into a dining room. It's right off the kitchen, so it made sense. And then I turned the old dining room here into our homeschool space. But let me just say that if you want to homeschool, you do not need a homeschool room or any kind of dedicated space to homeschool your children. I've homeschooled for 4 years now, and 3 of those I used one single little cart, and I would keep it stored in a closet. I would just pull it to the kitchen table every morning, and that's what worked for us. That's when we lived with my mom, and we just didn't have any extra room. But that's one of the things that I love about homeschool is that you don't need any kind of special or dedicated space. You can do it outside, in the car, on the couch, and we definitely do that a lot. We just kind of do school wherever we want to do school for that day. It's just always been my dream to have a homeschool room, and I'm so grateful to now have one. So in here is where I keep our whiteboard, our books. I have a little table for my 4-year-old. She'll come in here daily and she'll draw or play with Play-Doh. And I also have a cabinet in our living room that's full of curriculum and extra supplies. I do plan to eventually bring that in here just so all of our homeschool stuff is in one place. But y'all know I've been keeping that cabinet in the living room to hide the router box. I think I might have something else figured out for that. I just had an idea the other day, so stay tuned for that. I've got so many ideas going on in my head. It seems like I'm planning like 10 projects at once in this house, but I might have something figured out for that. My daughter is starting pre-K this year, and when you're homeschooling multiple kids, it can be challenging trying to keep one of the kids occupied while you're working with another. And with her being 4, she really enjoys playing with Play-Doh. So I went ahead and got the 20 count from Walmart, and that should last us all year. But this actually keeps her busy. It exercises her fine motor skills. I also stocked us up on paint for the year, so she can do some painting if she wants. She also loves to play reading eggs on her tablet, so I do have her a subscription to that, and I'm probably going to sign her up for Hooked on Phonics as well. I did that with my son when he was first starting to learn to read. We would do that in his free time, and he really enjoyed that. So I definitely think I want to do Hooked on Phonics with my daughter as well. Something new I'm going to be adding to our morning routine this year, and I say morning routine, but we could really technically do this any time of day. I'm going to do some morning menus. My oldest son is a little too old for this. He's 13 years old. He'll be 14 in March, so he doesn't really care too much about this kind of stuff. But for my younger 2, it's great. So morning menus, they're basically like a morning circle time. They go over the date, the month, the weather. They can practice handwriting, pretty much anything that you want to put in your menu. you can put in there. So what I did is I found some age-appropriate printables on Etsy that were already pre-done for me. I didn't really have the time to sit down and create the printables that I wanted. So I just went on Etsy and bought a couple of printables. They also come with a lot of different pages, so I'll change them out throughout the year, and I'll find maybe some fun printables for the different holidays. For the actual menus, these are restaurant menus from Amazon. It comes in a pack of 2, and like I said, I'll be linking everything that I can down below, but I'm going to put these together, and these are going to go in our morning basket. This will be my first year doing a morning basket. If you've never heard of a morning basket, it's basically a basket that you can put together. It doesn't even have to be a basket. It can be any kind of box or bag, and you basically just gather up things that you want to do as a family to kind of start off your day. So for me, it's going to serve a purpose of having all of those little extra things that I want to do with them, but they don't exactly fit into any of our subjects, if that makes any sense. So like our morning menus, our family read aloud, our gratitude journals, but it's really just up to you what you want to put in there. I would like to add maybe like a little family devotional book in there, so I'm on the hunt for that. But I do plan to frequently change out what's in our morning basket, just so we don't get bored with the same stuff over and over. Maybe some fun crafts for the holidays while I read. I think that would be super fun. So it's now the next day, and what I'm doing right now is working on a wall display for artwork. I'm just using command hooks and some jute cord, but my kids are always drawing or coloring pictures, and I've not been able to decide what to do with this space above our whiteboard. It's just kind of one big blank wall. So I was thinking maybe this would be the perfect spot to hang up their artwork. So when I finish with that, I will get to work on our chore charts. I had found some free printables on Pinterest, and I just laminated them so we could use them over and over. But while I do that, I figured I would explain more on Charlie, my little Yorkie, and what happened with her the night before. So like I said, she's fine, but it was a really scary night. So long story short, all the kids were in the living room watching TV, and I was in the classroom filming, and I heard a really loud thud. But honestly, I didn't think anything of it because I hear thuds in my house all the time. My kids are always jumping around and playing. But I heard my oldest son say, "Oh my gosh, is she breathing?" I knew then that something was wrong. But what she had done is she was trying to jump in the chair in our living room, and she actually missed her jump. And I think because of the way she was laying, she must have landed on her back, possibly hit her head, because when my son picked her up and brought her to me, she looked like she was in a seizure. Her breathing was very shallow. Her eyes, she wasn't blinking. They were open, but she wasn't blinking, and her eyes were just kind of darting back and forth. I've never seen a dog have a seizure, so I don't know for sure, but that's just what my gut was telling me was happening with her. And so I'm in a complete panic. So I went ahead and dialed her regular vet. I knew they probably weren't open, but I knew they could probably forward me to an emergency vet. And so that's what I did. I dialed their number. They sent me to the nearest emergency, which was like an hour and a half away. That was also super scary, knowing that I was going to have to travel an hour and a half before she could even be seen. My mom ended up taking the little ones, and me and Kai, we hit the road. Thankfully, the actual seizure part only lasted, I would say, maybe 5 minutes. Once we kind of got down the road, she was kind of coming out of that behavior, I guess you could say. She was kind of starting to act normal again, but her breathing was also still very weird. And it was still scary knowing that I had to travel that far. Anyways, we get there. They go ahead and take her back as soon as we get there. Passed all of her neurological testing. Her blood work was normal. So they ended up giving her some nausea medicine because she was a little bit sick on her stomach. And they also gave her some pain meds. She will be following up with her primary vet on Monday morning. So fingers crossed everything continues to check out. I was just so grateful that she was okay, because I really did not know which way that was going to go in that moment, and my heart just sank. So I will link these chore charts in the description box, but like I said, they were a free printable that I found online. So I'm just going to hang them here on the side of the fridge with my meal planning board that I got from Amazon. I really didn't know where else to put these charts other than the side of the refrigerator, so I'm just going to hang them here. And each kid will have a list of things that I expect them to do each day, and they can check it off as they go. And when it's full, we will just erase and reuse. So really quick, I'm going to take a break from our homeschool stuff, and I'm going to move into Kane and Ray's bedroom. I really wanted to get the rug in there washed. One of the dogs had an accident, so I'm just going to toss that in the wash. Also going to go ahead and change their sheets for the week. I also had plans to get in my older son's room as well, but my washer, I felt like, was just really overwhelmed today, so I'm going to be getting to his the next day off camera. I do try to change my kids' sheets once a week. Sometimes I even go 2 weeks, but I really try to do that weekly. Make some mop water really quick just to mop out their floors since I was washing the rug. And I know I'm not supposed to mix bleach with other cleaning products, and I don't do this often, but every now and then I like to add just a little splash of bleach to my mop water to really clean and sanitize the floor. If I notice that my house is starting to get smelly, like smell like dog, if I add a little bit of bleach to the mop water, it freshens it up. So I'm just going to vacuum and mop their floor real quick, and so that way the floor will be clean before I put the clean rug back down. This is a little curriculum haul for my 8-year-old. I'm going to be switching some things up, adding some new things in. So this year we're going to be doing American history. He's also moving on to the level 2 and fix-it grammar. But I'm also going to add in the IEW writing curriculum this year. It's time for him to start learning, you know, the structure of writing. And that's exactly what IEW does. I really like that the Fix-It Grammar books, they kind of go hand in hand with the IEW. But this will be my first time using the IEW, but I've heard lots of good things about it from other homeschool moms. So I'm really excited to be doing that this year. I am going to return the one that I got. I'm going to reorder the same exact one, but I'm going to get it in the package. I meant to do that the first time and I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna reorder so I can get the DVDs with it. I feel like those will be necessary because the DVDs has all of the teaching material, and so that way he can sit down and watch his lesson, and then he can go in the IEW book and actually do his work. Something else we're going to be doing is Saxon math. So we have used Saxon math with my oldest before, and in my opinion, it's a great curriculum. Really enjoyed that, and we also paired it with Nicole the Math Lady. So you do have to pay for Nicole, the math lady, but she will teach your child the lessons and then they can do their work. I really like Saxon Math because they revisit the concepts even after they moved on to another. I know with some curriculums, they teach it one time and then they don't see it again for another 6 months, and then they have forgotten what they have learned. But with Saxon, the concepts are revisited very often. Really quick, I just needed to go through these cloth bins on the bookshelf here. I keep a few learning puzzles down here, also some math manipulatives, our magnetiles, stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, everything is pretty well how I wanted it. I got fresh new supplies for the year. We got our new curriculum put away, and I also ordered them some back to school outfits, a cute little back to school sign I'm going to be taking their pictures with. That's one thing that I have kind of felt sad about missing out on with homeschool, is that we don't really take the first day of school pictures. But this year I'm going to do it. Just because we homeschool doesn't mean that we can't take the cute back to school pictures. Quick, I'm going to switch over the comforters, and then I want to go ahead and clean the floor in the dining room and the kitchen. I wasn't really worried about the rest of the house today. Kitchen and the dining room, those two rooms get the dirtiest the fastest, so I wanted to just get those done, and that will be all for today's video. I really hope that y'all enjoyed and it gave you some motivation. I will see y'all again on Wednesday. I know my 2 videos a week have kind of been sparse here lately. Sometimes I get a second video up, sometimes I don't, but I'm really trying to get back on track with that. So I'll see you guys again on Wednesday, and we're going to do a kitchen reset. So we're going to have a grocery haul. I need to clean my fridge, pantry. I'm also going to be making some dinner in that video, so be sure to come back on Wednesday. Remember to leave a butterfly down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.